An entire year given to rest and let rest, to release and be released, to unburden others and lay one's burdens down, to wipe clean the slate and have one's own slate wiped clean. The time appointed by God for rest, refreshing, and revival. First, puzzle pieces. Before we move on, let's take stock of what we now know about the first key. These are the puzzle pieces that will become critical to unlock the mystery of the shmita. The shmita is to years what the Sabbath is to days. It takes place once every 7 years. It is unique and distinct from the 6 years that preceded. It is the year of cessation, release, and rest, the ceasing of what has not ceased up to the time of its coming. The shmita specifically touches the financial and economic realms. It leads and builds up to its climactic final day, Elul 29th, the day of remission, the day of nullification. On Elul 29th, all debts are canceled and all credit released, and the nation's financial accounts are transformed and wiped clean. The shmita is sweeping, radical, and extreme. Its effects, consequences, and repercussions bear key similarities to that of a financial and economic collapse. The shmita, like the Sabbath day, was intended to be a blessing for the nation of Israel. The words and concepts most associated with it, the release, the remission, the forgiveness of debt, are all positive. But the mystery of the shmita concerns judgment. This raises an important and obvious question. How could something intended to be a national blessing become linked to national judgment? Let's take it one step further. How could something intended to be a national blessing transform into national judgment? In the next
6, 7. I just bit right on the highway.
Here's what we have learned. When you call people a dumbass and retarded, and you point the finger at somebody else, there's 3 fingers pointed right back at you. That would be me. That would be moi, right here. Because the reason I'm like, oh, you fucking dumbass. Me, in this case, I cannot flippin' believe that I didn't see this back in April of 2025. It's gonna blow your mind. Before that, Iran is planning a massive nuclear attack on the US. Timestamp, Terminator, Judgment Day, 8/2/9, August. August means 6, and we are now in month 6 and month 12. But that is not even the crux of what we're gonna share here. Or I'm going to share. This is going to blow your flipping mind, bro. So you saw all that stuff at the beginning about Elul 29. Elul 29. Elul means 6 and Elul means 12. They are using a mirror. How do we know they're using a mirror? Because exactly, if we go to the date back in September, technically October 2nd was Elul 29. October 22nd was Elul 20. October 2nd was Elul 29. Right there. And what is the exact opposite of Tishri and Elul and the rest of it? See how it says Tishri right there? What's the opposite of Tishri? Well, Tishri is month 1 and month 7. That's why they did all the rituals on September 26th of 2024 by killing Nazarel and the Florida hurricane and the Julian of September 26, 2024, the other hurricane that hit Florida. So what were they doing? This, oh God, I have looked myself in the mirror and I just put my hands in my face. I'm like, you fucking dumbass. Look at this. How did none of us see this? Well, the good news is there's 8 billion people on Earth and nobody's even, I don't know if they're watching or not, but a lot of people are watching. And for them not to see this, well, I guess we're not the only ones that missed this, but either which way. Okay, so if September was the start of the Jewish New Year, what is the start on the Torah calendar of the Jewish New Year? It's Nisan. It's flipping Nissan. And exactly the mirror of that day, just showed October 2nd. The mirror of that day is exactly this April 2nd date. On April 2nd, see that number 1 up there, at the beginning of the year, the beginning of the Jewish year, Nisan, in the spring, Trump did Liberation Day. And how do we know it was precisely connected? Because they crushed the markets exactly on Liberation Day, and everyone going crazy, and it was chaos, and the market went down a whole bunch of percentage points, and everyone remembers that day, Liberation Day. But then exactly on April 9th, the market juiced the biggest juice in history in one singular day, because he tried to pause the tariffs. And what is the saying on Wall Street? The Wall Street adage is sell on Rosh Hashanah, buy in Yom Kippur. Historical stock market adage suggesting investors sell stocks before the Jewish New Year, buy them back at lower prices before Yom Kippur. The 10-day span. And look at this damn collapse. Exactly, that was April 2nd. The market closed. As soon as the market closed, Trump came out with this thing and just they dropped the market. Massive. And then exactly on April 9th, did you just saw on the calendar, the biggest juice in history. How big was that juice? Exactly in Yom Kippur connection, over in one day, 12%. You will never, ever see a candle that big, 12% in one singular day. They are using Nissan. So if the Jewish year starts in month 1, when does the Jewish year end? It ends on elul, right? But what is the opposite of elul? It's Adar. What's the opposite of Tishri? It's Nisan. They use the exact opposite. They use the damn mirror. That's why Nisan means 1 and 7, just like Tishri means 1 and 7. And we know they did this because of what you just saw. Exactly at the beginning of the Jewish New Year, precisely on the Elul 29 mirror connection, they crushed the markets, and you just saw the Wall Street adage, 10-day span, exactly 10 days later, this was 7 days, right? But it was the 10th. That's how they hit it. That's how they freaking hit it on the April 9th. They did it exactly on the 10 on this calendar because they wanted to hide it. And they juiced the hell out of the market. So this year that we're in is the connection to the shmita. That's what they're telling you. And if their connection to the shmita, every market collapse in history, that was the massive historical market, happens exactly on Elul 29. So here it is in Kanjan's book. If you look at the shmita, the 5 biggest market crashes in history. 5th greatest stock market crash, October 9th, 2008. 4th greatest, the 3rd greatest, yada, 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 right? Average proximity and convergence of the 5 greatest stock market crashes history to the shmita's point of greatest impact, nearly 100%. Right here on the highlighted. Of the top 5 greatest percent crashes of the post-war era, how many of them took place either in the wake of the shmita's climax or the moment of climax itself? 100%. Every single fucking one. Right there. The top 5 greatest point in history, right here. When was this? The greatest Black Monday, Tishri 24, Tishri 25, Tishri 26, right? So they all took place all these years apart. They use this because it's in the Torah, it's in the Bible. And this is why we have to point out the fact that the rapture retards are utter losers for not pointing this out. It's in Leviticus. The Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you come to the land which I give you, the land should keep a Sabbath to the Lord. 6 years shall you sow your field, 6 years you shall prune your vineyard and gather its fruits. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land, a Sabbath to the Lord." Leviticus. Here it is, Exodus. 6 years you shall sow your land, gather its produce, but the 7th year you shall let lie in fallow. It's all over the place. And they started this right here, right? And what happens? The point of the Shemitah requires the people to release their attachments to the material realm, their possessions, their finances, their real estate, their claims and pursuits concerning such things. It's the breaking of bonds, and those who release are likewise released, no longer possessed by their possessions, but free. The Shemitah is a reminder that God is the source of all blessings, spiritual and physical alike, but when God is removed from the picture, the removal of those blessings will ultimately follow them. The Shemitah thus deals with a particular flaw of human nature, the tendency to divorce the blessings of life from the giver of those blessings, to separate the physical limb from the spiritual limb, and then compensate for the loss of the spiritual by increasing its claims over the physical world. So, this is what they do. It leads up to the climatic final day, 12/29. When is 12/29? The day of remission, the biggest. The Shemitah is sweeping. And what happened to Israel? Judgment. Judgment. This is what happens to Israel. Repent now. Okay, Leviticus 26, a prophecy is given of what would happen to the people of Babylon, which is the USA, America, in this case it's Israel, if they turned away from God. They would be removed from the land and scattered to the nations. The prophecy would come true in 586 BC, the destruction of Jerusalem. But it is here in the Torah that the vital connection is revealed. I will lay your cities to waste and bring your sanctuaries to desolation. I will bring the land to desolation. Your land shall be desolate and your cities waste. Then the land shall enjoy its Sabbaths as long as it lies desolate and you are in your enemy's land. Then the land shall rest and enjoy its Sabbaths as long as it lies desolate, and it shall rest. For the first time it did not rest on your Sabbaths when you dwelt in it. The Sabbaths of the land referred to this passage are the Sabbath years, the Shmitas. In other words, the Shemitah would hold the key to the timing of the Lord's judgment when Iran nukes fucking New York. So, if the first month is when they brought about judgment, the Shemitah, when is month 12? When is the final month? The final month, this is why I'm considering myself a dumbass and people that can't see this at this point, I can't believe I didn't see this. So when is the final month? Obviously, it's month 12. When did Iran declare war against the U.S.? Iran president declares full-fledged war with the U.S. and Europe. When? On December 29th. So why was February 16th so big? February 16th was the lunar of December 29th. But if you go to December 29th, which is March 18th, if you go to March 18th, right here, Adar 29, 12/29, the precise mirror of Elul 29 is March 18th, right? And what does Adar mean? Same thing Elul means. Elul means 12 and 6, Adar means 6 and 12. Same exact month. That's why they started on the Nisan. Nisan is the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year is Nisan. Just like they call it Tishri, but some rabbis say it's Nisan. Either way, you just saw, they gave it to you with Liberation Day. And at the end of the year, Sel on Rosh Hashanah by Yom Kippur, 9 days later, the end of the year is exactly March 18th, right? And what is the Julian of March 18th? It's 6-5. And this is why they gave you February 16th. February 16th is exactly 12/16 because February is traditionally the 12th month. Just like August, when you play iPad Go backwards, August is the 6th month. August means 6. If you look up the meaning, the original meaning of the word August, it means 6, right? Sept is 7, Oct is 8. So obviously, August is 6. And that's why they say August. So the Julian is 6-5. iPad Go market collapse. And what is March 18th? March 18th obviously is 12/18. And that's why you had the Antichrist pointing to Thursday, 12/18, right there. And they told you it was December because the 3rd was a Wednesday, right? So the 18th was the only day I had in December was 12/18. What is 12/18? 12/18 is exactly on March 18th. 12/18, you saw it clear as day. And what is March 18th? Over here, it's 12/28. Right? So when is the 28 here? It's the 17th. This is why Trump did a speech on the December 17th, the night of December 17th. He does a speech saying how great America is. on the night. So we're looking at the night of March 18th. And what date is March 18th? Obviously, Adar means 12 and 6. When is the saddest day on the Jewish calendar? It's the 9th of Av. The 9th of Av, right? And what does Av mean? Av means 5. What is 9? 6s are 9s. So obviously, this day right here, the Julian of the 18th is the 5th, 6-5, the 9th of Av, September 5th, the 9th of Av. And we are in the Islamic month, September, as Bill put in the comments. And Bill even pointed this out, and I said, yeah, if it doesn't happen on February 16th, they're going to wait till the end of Ramadan. They're not going to declare war between that time period, no matter what the Strait of Hormuz and Mark Allison and the rest of these degenerates say. March 18th is the fucking day, right? And how do we know it's the goddamn day? Because let's go to America's turning point, September 10th, when Charlie Kirk died. When is the very next day? If the 2 Jew temples burn on the very same day, when's America going to burn? Exactly again on September 11th. What was the date on September 11th? Elul 18, right there, 12/18. It was Christmas, 12/25. There's your Christmas right there. The opposite, the mirror of Elul 25, the mirror, how they twist it, is 12/18. And no year except for 2025 did Jonathan Kahn bring up September 23rd. No other year except for 2025. And I've been watching this guy for since I was alive. This Khan John character, only time he brought up September 23rd is in 2025. What is the exact reflection of Tishri 1? It's Nisan 1. It's March 19th. So when does all hell break loose? If your arc is not done by midday September 22nd, you will be. What was September 22nd? It was Elul 29. What is the exact mirror of September 22nd? It's the night of March 18th, right there. And all hell breaks loose on March 19th. And if you go to the wars, every war, World War I, World War II, and the Ukraine War, all started on a 68-date numerology. What is the numerology date the very next day? They're not going to do anything on March 19th. They're going to start on March 18th, obviously. March 19th is a 68-date numerology when World War III starts. March 18th is September 22nd. March 19th, as you clearly saw, is Tishri 1. It's Nisan 1. Elul 29. If they did the biggest, baddest collapses in history on this day, Elul 29, that 100%, you just saw 100% of the crashes were on that day. And what is the only day I had in March of 2025? And as you saw in the last video, we're still in 2025, obviously, until March 19th, right? The New Year's Eve is March 18th. That's why Blondie shows 12/29. But what is the date? Let's look at March 18th. March 18th is the 77th day of the year, right? So let's look at March 18th again. March 18th, right here. What month is this in Gentile month? It's 328. And what day of the year? What day of the year it is? You just saw it's 77. What happened on 328 in 2025? On March 28th, there was a deadly 7.7 earthquake. And 328 on March 18th is the 77th day of the year, on top of the fact that it's December 29th on the calendar. But what is it on the lunar? March 18th is January 29th. That's why you had the American Eagle plane crash and Miss America suicided on January 29th, and Kobe Bryant helicopter ritual on January 26th, right? She was pushed off the 29th floor and reported on January 30th, the very next day, the day America is suicided. Why did they give you all the 5 coding? 5 in 2025 was month August, but August means 6, and we are now in month 6, and we are looking at Elul 29. That is the flippin' day, a month in advance, that Bill pointed out. And on top of all that, January 29th, you had the American Eagle burning, and then 12/29, December 29th, you had the Juju air crash happen into a brick wall at the end of the runway. No runway in the world would have a brick wall at the end of a freaking runway. I mean, a child knows that. And they autonomously control that airplane. We did a whole video on that. You can clearly see the plane out the window. They had no control over that airplane, crashed right into a wall on purpose. That was on December 29th. Exactly 30 days later, January 29th, they did flight 5342. 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. The American Eagle flight number was 5 plus 3, 4 plus 2, 86 sacrifice. They sacrificed the degenerates by running into a helicopter above Washington, D.C. January 29th, Miss America and the rest of it. This is the flippin' day. They are going to do this, and what's going to happen? The climatic day. When the judgment fell in 586 BC, the holy city was left a burning ruin, the holy land of vast desolation, and the people captives in a foreign land. China, Russia, Iran is coming. They are going to drag these degenerate rapture retards and the masses of vaxxed asses out of their house and shoot them in the back of the head. What does this have to do with the shmita? The nation had driven God out of their lives and the shmita from their land. Now it would return to them. What they had refused to observe freely would now come upon them by force. It would come back at them not in the form of a blessing, but of judgment. Judgment right there. What the hell? And they had driven the shmita from their land. Now the shmita returned, and they themselves are driven out. They had removed God from their lives. Now their blessings will likewise be removed from their lives, and their lives from their blessings. They are going to crush it. Scam coin and the rest of it is going to juice. And when it comes to the full moon on March 3rd into March 18th, you're going to see crypto and the market juice right back up, and then they're going to pull it. They are going to pull it. Crypto's at 67 or 68 right now, and it's going to be that way until the full moon arrives on March 3rd, and then into March 18th, the night of March 18th. And what day is 12/29? December 29th, Father Pike's birthday. The founder, the head of Freemasonry, Albert Damn Pike, right there. And they go to his grave every 12/29, and they take him out of his grave, out of his casket, and they celebrate his birthday. That's why back in 2024, the Saturday Night Live did a whole thing connected to the December 29th date. We had an advance with a birthday cake on November 10th, and YouTube on November 1st had birthday cake all over, right there, and that was connected to Father Pike, right there. And if we go to our holy month of August, and what does August mean? It means 6, but it was month 5. That's why they hit all the 518 and 517 coding. And what did the Q Psyop say? August 23rd, all hell breaks loose, or the new world begins, the new map begins August 23rd. August 23rd was exactly 518, but August means 6, so it's actually 618, August 23rd, right? And when does World War II begin? It begins on 517. 517, exactly. When is 517? The 17th is also the 23rd. If we go to the other calendar, either way, it's the 17th. So 517, World War III begins right there. It's all connected to this date on the 23rd, Manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day. That's why Manic Monday was released on December 23rd. And they said run from New York on 11/14. What is the very next day? It's February 16th, right? February 16th is the very next day. When was February 16th? It was December 29th on the lunar calendar. That's how they hit it. And this is why we have this date now a month in advance. You're going to see the Raptards pick every date from here to Kingdom Come about eclipses and all this bullshit nonsense. And Elul 29 is the day of remission. That is the day, the night of March 18th. Not in the morning, probably not even in the afternoon, but sometime after 3:20 p.m. Eastern, you're going to see Iran nuke New York. That is the only way judgment arrives on exactly Elul 29, because they started this at the beginning of the year with Liberation Day, with the shmita mirror, and they're going to end it. They are going to end it on the last day of the year, the final crescendo. the day it all ends. There is no other day but March 18th. Happy birthday to Father Pike. And this is why they gave you the 6-7. March 11, 2020 to March 18, 2026. 6 years, 7 days since the pandemic commenced. And that's why on March 5th, John Cahn's thumbnail right there, exactly on March 5th, 2024, John Cahn's thumbnail was the vow of silence, March 5th, 3-5, and his timestamp is 7-5, and he made a major announcement about his release of his book, The Dragon Prophecy, on that day. Right there, March 5th, the vow of silence. When is March 5th? Obviously, it's the Julian of March 18th, Fifth Third Bank. They're using the damn Julian. We know that because of the second hurricane that hit Florida connected to the Great 8 Days, September 26th. They always use the Julian. They're using the lunar. They're using the Julian. And all they're doing is the very last day of the year, 12/29. That's why I Pet Goat shows that guy with New Year's Eve. That's why the earthquake 77 on 328. My God. December 29th. Iran declares war against the U.S. The exact day connected to March 18th, the last day of Ramadan. September 22nd, midday, only connects in 2025. They made September 23rd go viral and everyone was having dreams about fake Jesus and all that bullshit on September 23rd. When is the mirror of September 23rd? It's March 19th, the day the war begins. The 68 date numerology. New York gets nuked. And when did the Google glitch say? The Google glitch said war with Iran begins on May 6th. When is May 6th? It's 6-5, the Julian of March 18th. Even that connects. I Pet Goat 6-5, even that connects. March.
I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just